Hey, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. Got another question I was going to answer today about basically about business requirements. I thought this was a pretty good one. A lot of developers struggle with this. It goes like this. It says, I really like your articles. I have watched a few on Pluralsight websites, and I've also read some articles on your blog site. Cool. The topic I'm interested in right now, and the one I have weakness, is that's concerning business requirements. I have difficulties in learning business processes and also design solutions based on the business processes. The problem is that I don't remember all the requirements in detail when we're on meetings, and I cannot write them all down because there is no time, and also I have some difficulty understanding more complex requirements. Is there a way to overcome this problem? Do you have any suggestions regarding my problem? I'm very good at technical stuff like learning new software, programming languages, but I am behind as far as business requirements and business processes is concerned. I tried to search in Google about best practices regarding business requirements and business processes, but down the way I found them very theoretical and did not help me much. I need some practical methods, so any suggestions would be very helpful. So, what can you do here, right? You like writing code, you're good at writing code, you understand technical things, but those business people, dang, just can't understand. You don't have time to write down the requirements, trying to capture those requirements. Here's the thing. You've got to become a domain expert in whatever business that you're writing software for. Now, I've made this mistake myself in the past of not doing this, and then I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I don't get this. I don't understand what's going on. You've got to become as good of an expert as the best expert. In fact, you should probably be better than all of the different experts in that whatever software you're building in the business case of that. It's going to take some time to do this, and it's going to take a lot of effort, but it's well worth it, because when you understand the business requirements so well, better than the people giving them to you, it makes your job way easier, because you don't make stupid mistakes because you understand what they're trying to accomplish, and so you're not just going to take their directions verbatim. People are very bad at giving directions and saying what they want. So when the business says, hey, I want this, I want you to build this like this, if you don't understand what they're actually trying to do, if you don't understand the business, if you don't have a real good deep grasp of that, and you just follow their directions, you're going to build the wrong thing because they explained to you the wrong thing. They didn't understand how to explain to you the right thing or what they actually needed. They didn't even realize it. And so, when you understand it, when you understand the business, when you've got that deep domain knowledge, what happens is you take what they tell you, and you might be working on some code, working on some feature, and then you realize, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to be what you need, and then you can bring that up, or be smart enough to make the changes yourself and to adapt it, but also bring it up early. So really, the key here is you're not going to get better at just digesting random business requirements and processes. I mean, you might get a little bit better at it, but it's domain-specific knowledge that you have to acquire. You're not going to get around this. If you're a consultant and you're going and you're visiting multiple clients, then you're going to have to learn each one. The first thing you should do is learn their domain very well. You might not be able to go as far as you'd like, but you need to make sure that spend more and more time, like understand exactly how the business works. It might even, if let's say that you're writing software for a CRM software for some customer service person, you might even say, hey, can I spend the day just sitting by you or actually doing your job? Understand what it actually is. It's really worth the time. I know it seems like it's not worth the time, like you're going to be wasting time when you could actually be writing code, but that is key. Now, once you have that, in addition to that, I'd say what you want to do is you also want to ask lots and lots of questions and make sure that you understand it so much that you can repeat it back to the business person and they understand what you're saying, right? And they agree with it. If they don't want to give you the time, then you're just going to have to say that you cannot write the feature or do the code until you have that, until that understanding it, because you're just going to waste time. I mean, a lot of times, I've been in arguments with business people where they say, "Well, I don't get it. Just implement it. Stop asking me so many questions." And I push back on that. I say, I could, if you want this done, we need to go through this. I need to have a understanding. We need to think all these things out, and I need to ask all these questions. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my desk. I'm going to build something. We're going to both say, you're going to say it's wrong, and we're going to start over again. We're eventually going to get to all these questions. Another way to think of this is this. You cannot build software without understanding exactly how it's supposed to function. And the only way to get to exactly how it's supposed to function, is to ask all the questions that are needed and to understand them. Eventually, you can do it up front, and you can get as much information and domain knowledge up front as possible, or you can do it by going back to your desk, writing the wrong thing, going back to them saying it's wrong, and back and forth 50 different times. So it's up to you really to choose. But that's why I say just get a base, understand the domain, become an expert in that domain, and then when you're interviewing a business person, when you're trying to get requirements, when trying to get that, just be the a-hole that just doesn't stop asking questions. That's how you're going to be successful, because you know what's going to happen. If you don't do that, it's going to be back and forth 100 times writing code, wasting everyone's time. Well, hopefully that's helpful to you. This is definitely a tough problem. Every developer has to deal with this. I've had this problem myself. I have not dealt with this correctly in many cases, but now I know I don't start writing code until I totally understand something, and that's worked out for me. So, all right, take care, and if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my blog at simpleprogrammer.com. Take care.